Hey Internet, this is Gunter with MiniMishaps Games, and today we have got another round of ideas of what to do with liquid plastic. Alright, so I'm mixing up a batch of red plastic today because we are going to be trying to make potions. Little tiny potions, and one of them is going to be red, so we're going to make a bunch of extra plastic to have these other ideas. So we're going to be trying to repair this horn and crossbow from this Hero Forge 3D print, and so I've also got the several miniatures that are going to be put on these wooden 1-inch bases. I've got a couple of poker chips that are going to be bases, and then I've got one official small WizKids one for the 3D printed owl that we have on the end. I've also got a piece of a sprue, and it's hard to tell on the camera on the video, but there is a piece of wire that we're going to coat. We've bent it into lots of angles and curves, and that's going to be the parts of the crossbow, the parts of horns, because it's really easy to get straight plastic, but it's a lot harder to find little squiggles and curls and things. So that's what that piece of sprue is doing there. So we mix it all together, and then we're gonna just for the bases, these are 1-inch wooden bases. You can get them at most craft stores. Really handy if you want fast. You can see you don't have to handle with much care there. Not like the potion you want to be really careful with, but the nice thing about these wooden bases is because they're curved and a little absorbent, it pulls the plastic very, very thin along those outsides, and you'll see that I do rip the paper a couple of times later, but they do remove really easily from those circles because the plastic is so thin on the side, it just sort of can pull away, leaving the hard plastic to hold the miniature on. So I've also poured a base in that little purple mold there. So we've got, and then the last thing, this was kind of an accidental miracle, which is the plastic sets up, depends on the plastic, but this one sets up in about 7 minutes. And there's about a 10 or 12 second window between liquid and solid when you can pull it out and mold it, or in this case we just sort of blobbed it onto the paper. And here you can see we're pulling out, the potion looked good, there's all the little curves, and here's the base. Ended up with an accidental piece coming up from the paper, which was awesome. We'll use that for something. But this turned into an awesome kind of mouth shape that we're going to be using in March for we're going to make Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors, the big plant, out of that being the mouth of it. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and watch for that video. Base is pretty standard, and you can see they pop right up, and then the ones that are stuck left a cool little mold of the poker chips. I like the poker chips because they fill. And this one was a broken arm that we actually replaced with an arm that we mold cast in the previous video. So once I get at first glance I'm worried about the paper, but you can see that once you just kind of bend that plastic part, it pulls away and then lets go of the paper. So yeah, so it's neat because right now we're probably about 20 minutes in when I'm demolding. After another hour or so, a little more depending on how you mix the plastic, those will be rock solid, and you won't be able to change them at all. So although you could carve them, you could get out the plastic knife and smooth them down just like you would mold lines or anything else. But this has been another round of plastic, and I will send it over to Outro Gunter. Thank you so much for watching my video, and if you like what you saw, go ahead and subscribe, and you can support us on Patreon or buy me a coffee, and we will see you for the next video. Thanks, Internet.